Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be talking about our upcoming rough draft that is due. So you have a rough draft due on Sunday for your writing. If we go to course content and you scroll down, you should see here the instructions for the rough draft, and I just wanted to go over those a little bit more in detail with you. So the topic is already given to you. Write about things you did before the quarantine started. And you should be using regular and irregular verbs in the preterite tense. And here it gives you an example. Antes de comenzar la cuarentena, visité a mis padres y trabajé en un restaurante. So here is the verb trabajé and visité. These are both in the yo form, past tense, preterite. Okay? And we have some instructions up here. So you have two writing samples that you're going to complete. One will be a rough draft and one will be a final draft. Okay? Both the rough draft and final draft should be typed double-spaced Times New Roman 12-point font. It should be a minimum of 150 words and no more than 250. Okay, the samples are going to be in Spanish. Even the rough draft has to be at least 150 words. So when you're writing this grammar composition, you should only use structures we have seen in this class. So up to this point, we've seen gustar, we have seen direct and indirect objects, the preterite tense, right? So that's what you should be focusing on using. Also, the regular and irregular verbs in the preterite, because that's specifically what I'm asking for. Also, you should not be using a translator of any kind. You shouldn't have anyone help you write the rough draft in any way. I want to better your writing, not someone else's. Okay, so that's what we need to focus on. The reason that we're doing this, I'm having you write a rough draft, which I don't expect to be perfect. I do expect it to have errors, is because I'm going to give you feedback and then you will edit your rough draft to turn in a final draft after you've received my comments. Okay, here I have the different letters that you might need to help you write your rough draft. But I did want to make sure that you guys understood what you can use. Okay, so if you go to our Connect site, and this is what it looks like from your perspective, the student view, you can go here to your textbook and you can look at irregular preterite or regular preterite verbs. So I believe it starts in chapter 8. Go down here. Okay, talking about the past part 1. So chapter 8, grammar 23. We have our first, we have here irregular verbs and the preterite tense, right? So here you can watch this video. You can go through our textbook to understand better the preterite. You can go to the next chapter, which is chapter 9, Días Festivos, and it continues with talking about the past, right? For two different grammar sections. So here you have some of the irregular forms. You can also go to our Connect class and look at the recorded lectures that I have played for you in Tegrity. So here it goes through the different slides and it has the recording, the same thing for chapter 9, where we both talk about the different uses of preterite and how to form the preterite. Okay, so those things you can definitely use. Another thing that you can use if you are having issues specifically with a very specific phrase or word, you can use word reference, English to Spanish. And what I like about word reference, like let's say that you don't know how to say quarantine. Okay, what I like about word reference is it gives you a lot of great examples. So it tells you English to Spanish, cuarentena. It tells you that it is feminine, right? So we know it's la cuarentena. And it also gives you different sentences, different contexts in which it's used. Here it's telling you compound forms that is used for quarantine. So this is why I really like word reference, and it's the only one that you're allowed to use. You should not be using Google Translate or Babbel Translate or any of the other translation services that are offered. And I've been doing this for a long time, so it can definitely tell when someone has directly translated something instead of using, or used a translator instead of translating themselves. And another thing I wanted to point out was how to structure the rough draft. So here is my Word document, just to kind of show you what I'm expecting. You should start by doing it in no spacing. I did ask for it to be in Times New Roman, size 12. You should put your name, put the professor's name here. And this should be my name, so Gonzalez. Okay, you should put the class and the date. Today is the 24th. Okay, should skip some lines. This should be your title. Please put some sort of title, not just rough draft. Like, what is it going to be about? You could say like whatever your topic is. So you're talking about things that you used to do in before quarantine. You could say like mi vida antes de la cuarentena. Okay? You don't have, it doesn't have to be that. It could be something different. And then you'll start writing here. Da, 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 da. Okay, obviously something so beautiful as this. I'm just trying to get a bunch of letters here so I can show you that the spacing here needs to be double spaced. Okay. Make sure that you're following the word count. You should, when you're doing the word count, you need to do just the text, not anything else. Okay, this is what I want you to turn in to me. This is what you will turn in here, the rough draft. Okay, that's due Sunday before midnight. This closes at midnight, so you're not going to be able to turn it in after that. Please don't send me it an email. This is where it needs to be sent so that I can give you your comments, and from there you'll receive a grade for this rough draft, and then you'll also receive a grade for the final draft. And another thing I wanted to remind you guys about, now that I am thinking about it, in our syllabus we have our culture assignment. Okay, and part of this culture project, which is going to be due in a few weeks, is to write a 3 to 5 page critical reflection, either in English or in Spanish, of a film or series. So you need to have seen the film or series first. So please make sure that you are watching one of these, especially if it's a series like Gentefied. I think it has 10 episodes. Jane the Virgin is quite long. Narcos or Narcos Mexico, like all of those, they take a long time, right? They take several hours for you to watch them, or maybe you have watched them before, but maybe you haven't, I don't know, seen the last episode, something like that. If not, you also have a couple of different great options for movies, for films. El Norte, Roma, Laberinto del Fauno, Tesis, Élite is also a series, I think. Mi Familia, My Family, Sin Nombre, and La Mala Educación. Okay, so these are your guys' options. Most of them are in Spanish, if not all of them. You can watch with subtitles if you feel that's necessary for you to understand, but I want you to still listen to it in Spanish. Okay, so this is what we have coming up. Please reach out to me if you have any questions.